Hey Sagittarius, welcome to your 2023 year ahead forecast. I've used two decks, pulling two cards from each deck for the year ahead. We'll take it month by month for 2023 and see what's coming up for you. I like to use two decks so that I can see repeating cards, so that it helps me tie certain months and themes of the year together for you. We have the World card, for example, coming up in February and in November. It's a year of reaching your goals and really coming full circle and reaching the pinnacle of what you've been striving for. We have a lot of breakthrough energy, a lot of travel. So let's have a look at what's coming up then. The year starts with an Ace of Swords, so the clarity that is presented to you in January, you know where you're going. The Ace of Swords represents a very clear breakthrough. It's the breakthrough you've been waiting on some level. Everything is clear for you, and the kind of breakthrough that's mainly coming through for you in January is around your personal happiness, your fulfillment, your relationships. There's been a massive breakthrough regarding important relationships and dynamics for you. The tens in tarot represent the end of a cycle, a culmination. If there has been any emotional cycle that you've been waiting to turn the corner on, January represents the sort of final breakthrough on an emotional cycle in your life, and you feel really happy in January. This is a really good indicator in January as to what really makes you happy. We have an Ace of Swords again from another deck coming up in May, but it'll be a different kind of breakthrough then. But it will be wise for you to remember in May what it was in January that was making you feel so alive, so full of radiance and like this vibrant sort of creative flow that's existing all around you. There's a lot of harmony around you on a personal level in January. Your personal life, your family life, your relationships have reached that turning point that you maybe have been waiting on for quite some time. And it is going to be important for you to recognize what it is that is fueling all of this happiness and this surge of creativity. Maybe it's something to do with art or just creation of your own happy, dynamic and exciting life. And now when you have integrated the lessons of January and you've reached that turning point finally, later on in the year in May, you're able to kind of apply that and sort of structure that happiness to make it last for you. In February, there is something that you are just not sure about yet. So you're not sure if this is going to work out yet. I have an indication it's about a communication or travel plans. So you may have a real urge to go somewhere or do something else, but you're just not really sure if you either have the motivation to do this or if it's the right step for you. There is something that's hanging in the balance and you're kind of anticipating that you're getting a no on something in February. That is cleared up by the Eight of Wands, a card that I also see coming through, however, in October. So these Eight of Wands indicate fast-paced action and travel and memento. So the momentum is flying around you in February, but you're holding yourself back on an emotional level, or you're turning something down. It's almost like there's this energy of pessimism in February about, will you ever get to go to where you want to go? Will you ever get to see this part of the world you're longing to see? Is there something that you have to kind of work through on an emotional level and sort of turn that no feeling or that pessimism into like action and inspired action? But the destination that you're trying to reach in February, it just seems so far away. It's like, will this ever happen for me? But I believe that at least in October, that's really when you're taking matters into your own hands and making that happen for yourself. The people that you synchronize with in February may appear again in October, and you're able to kind of really make the most of them by then. But keep an eye out in February of those syncs, those kind of kismet moments where you're in the right place at the right time. Somebody comes into your life, somebody tells you on the phone, like somebody's trying to reach you. There is something that's trying to reach you in February that you just aren't simply ready to respond to on an emotional level yet. But later on in the year is when you really take matters into your own hands on the issue of February and make something very magical from it. But there's something trying to reach you, be it in October or be it in February that you fully grasp in October, and it's wonderful. But keep an eye out for who tries to reach you. It's an offer. This cup is like, no, I'm not ready to take that. It might be a person, it might be somebody who wants to date you, it might be somebody who wants to work with you, and you just have doubts about for some reason. But listen to those cues. But again, there's a matter of fate and destiny that crops up for you in February. It might just be a timing issue, like it's too soon, it's happening too quickly for you, you may feel. But it's all part of the synchronized flow that's happening throughout the year. The March month is looking like the Seven of Cups and the World card, which we do see twice again. So the World card is the final card of the major arcana. It's the first indication of soul growth that we're seeing in a bigger way in the month of March. This is about a goal being reached. This is about the pinnacle of success and completion and getting what you have been striving for. But there is some overwhelm there. It's almost like you're just not energetically aligned yet on an emotional level to fully reap the rewards of what March is trying to show you, that you have already attained the goal. And you might be thinking, no, I'm nowhere near it, and I haven't reached that yet. But it actually has already been attained for you. It's a matter of belief. It's also a matter of letting go of any vices. It's a matter of also discerning the options that lie ahead of you in March. And while things are still confusing in March around this goal or pinnacle of success, by October, it's absolutely in your hands and it's thriving. But in March, there's still a little bit of confusion around the execution or just the living in this new and fulfilled version of your own reality. The Seven of Cups talks about something that overwhelms you on an emotional level. Maybe you still just don't feel ready to fully step into your success story that this year ahead has in store for you. Remember, well, how can you remember? I haven't told you yet. But in December, you have two major arcana cards, the Star and the Emperor, sitting firmly in your power. So it's a matter of getting there, and it comes down to believing in yourself. So you are being indicated towards the success already being within your reach in March, but something is still holding you back on an emotional level. Perhaps the success that you are granted or the final stages on something that's coming into your reality in March isn't exactly how you had imagined it. And for that reason, you just feel confused as to, this isn't what it was supposed to be, or this isn't what I had envisioned for myself, you may say to yourself. But the Seven of Cups is telling you, you have options and you have different ways that you can explore this success. And the goal that's reached in March, it may not even be the final say on the matter, and that could be what confuses you or leaves you feeling overwhelmed. But explore your options in March. There are many options that present themselves to you in March that do feel like success and achievement, but it's just not exactly what you had planned or thought was going to be the ultimate achievement by March. That may come later on in the year, but believe me, there are moments of significant achievement on your storyline so far in March. In April, that Ace of Swords that comes through in January, this could be an opportunity that had presented in the month of January, and it's that download of insight that now everything is quite clear. Now it's very obvious to you what has been holding you back and maybe turning the corner on certain family or relationship matters, or in terms of any writer's block or creative funk you've been in. Maybe it was just reaching that breakthrough, and that kind of opens up the floodgates, so to speak, on the other emotional issues that you've been feeling pessimistic, overwhelmed, confused, or just a lack of motivation around. It's almost like you had to break through the biggest issue, which happens in January, and then that opens the floodgates for the universe, the World card energy, to say, okay, you've tackled the biggest thing already very early on in the year. Now let's present to you the other emotional things that are holding you back psychologically or spiritually, so that you can continue to step into your power now that you've achieved the main breakthrough beginning at the start of the year. That Ace of Swords, you had that clarity, you had that understanding. In April, there's the Two of Swords, so it's this indecision that comes up. There's a playing small at the month of April because you are not really listening to your guides, I guess, or quite a significant person in your life that is trying to like hint to you or sort of lead by example in your life as to where you can step further and further into your own power. So this may be somebody that appears in your life in April, or somebody that's already firmly in your life, that is somebody you look up to and admire, and it's somebody that shows you the way, and it's somebody that you want to follow their example, and they're a really strong leader and you just really vibe towards them and you get what they're saying, but there's an indecision on your part to follow that lead. There's a hesitation in April. There's a decision to be made. In April and May, we have the first series of eclipses of 2023. This is a time of more destined or more aligned beginnings and endings, seeds being sown, chapters being wrapped up, ideas being planted and beginning to be acted upon, or you more so moving away from something. And they are more intense periods of the year. Although I see that this year in 2023, the eclipses are actually bringing to you a great deal of power and control rather than chaos or disarray, which is a good thing. So that would tell me that by on the start of the year, you're actually already very much on your aligned path, and you kind of have a real sense of that. So you begin the year with clarity and aligned purpose and direction, and now you just need to wait for the significant people to come in to lead you on that way, to continue your journey with you. The Two of Swords. So there is an indication that you need to make a decision in April and follow your heart. The King of Swords, or King of Wands rather, or King of Rods in this deck is a Leo energy. It may be a Leo you're dealing with, but if not, it could be somebody who leads from the heart and follows their bliss, follows their joy, and inspires you to do the same thing. This could be a time where if you are looking to start your own business or become your own boss, or kind of challenge yourself in the field of entrepreneurship, April may be a time where you finally get off that fence and do it, Sagittarius. Do it. The people that you're being inspired by are coming into your life or are showing up more and more in your life to sort of indicate to you as a mirror that you're also ready to do what I'm doing, whoever this may be. Now, this lovely Ace of Swords we saw in January is here again in the month of May, this time with the Hermit card. So you've already had your breakthrough in January. And what was that breakthrough, opportunity, sort of possibility for you? It was around turning a corner on an emotional issue that had been building for a significant amount of time. Could be 10 months, could be 10 years, but for a significant amount of time, you've been battling with something on an emotional level, and you've been able to clear that for yourself. So you kind of are hitting the ground running at the beginning of the year. Now, it's only normal for doubts and insecurities to creep up as you kind of start to align yourself to a more high timeline, a higher frequency on a timeline. And this is going to be happening again in May. You have this breakthrough in clarity, a new possibility emerges. If it isn't a new opportunity for you, it's the what am I going to do now? How am I going to structure and plan with this download that you had in January? It could be the download you had in January about what would really make you fulfilled. Whether or not you're a writer, it's the energy of writer's block, that slump. That slump is there in February, but it's just about you seeing how things are synchronizing and for some reason holding yourself back from it on some level or staying stuck. By the time May comes along, it's like, okay, I've already had that clearing out of any lack of motivation, and then in May it's like, right, how am I going to plan, how am I going to structure this sort of sense of now I know what will make me happy, how am I going to just sort of kind of process it. The Hermit card is a card of going within. So the first season of eclipses sees you in April and May with the Two of Swords and the Hermit card, very much examining things, but also with hesitation, also understanding that the timing has to be right for some sort of an execution of the goal that comes through. So the Hermit card is about careful planning and deciding and discerning what you're going to do with all this new insight, deciding which opportunities are right for you, kind of editing and really putting that microscope up there, because this is an energy of being careful about what you do with the opportunities that present themselves. In January, you might be just so elated that finally you've made this emotional breakthrough, and it is a lot of clarity, it's a lot of understanding. That same clarity and understanding, of course, is there for you, but it's here now in May to really shine a light on it and really discern what the next steps are with careful planning and always listening to your inner voice. The first half of the year ends with work and effort, Judgment card, and the 10 of Wands. So this is a call for you to keep up that effort. With the 10 of Wands, often I say, like, is there somewhere you're being overburdened? Are you working too hard? Are you carrying too much? With the Judgment card, it will tell me that in fact you have been tasked with these heavier loads, and maybe they feel like burdens, or just maybe it feels like a lot of heavy energy. You have been tasked with this for a reason. Another major arcana card, Judgment card. You have been tasked to carry the load you're carrying in June because you're able for it, because at another period of your life you shied away from this. This is about facing up to the fears that you had once been not able to commit to, or not able to put yourself forward to do. Now the Judgment card is saying, like, this is your next chance. This is the time where this is going to appear to you again, for you to step up and transform what you've been doing. But it is going to be a lot of effort. So if you feel yourself working harder, carrying more kind of balls being juggled in the air, keep up the stamina in June. This is not a time to let it all drop by the wayside. It's a time to prove to yourself, prove to your ancestors, prove to the universe that you are ready to accept the challenges, and this time that you're ready to go for it, and there's no holding yourself back. In July, we enter the second half of the year with the Sun card and the 7 of Pentacles. So you get to really enjoy the fruits of your labor, and all of that effort in June is now the rewards come through, the blessings, the enjoyment of this, and the sense of freedom. In the month of June, it may not feel like the most free and liberated month, but underneath what's really happening with this heavy sense of duty and obligation is this sort of reward that is waiting for you in July. It's just about being fearless and going for it, and believing that you have the strength to do this, you have the strength to complete this mission. The Judgment card is here to say, now you're not afraid anymore, and in July, that's when you are rewarded for your fearlessness and for stepping further into your most authentic self. The Sun card could represent travel. It could be that trip that you were afraid to make in February. If it's not a literal trip or a journey, it is, you're ready to step into the next steps of your own personal journey. You are waiting on something. You're waiting for the results to come through for you as well. So on some level in July, there is a impatience for you, because you know that what's for you is coming for you and won't miss you, because you've been getting so much external validation and internal validation. You know that this is right for you and brings you a lot of joy. But on the physical plane, it just takes a little bit longer. Physical plane is where it takes the longest for the manifestation to happen, but it starts in the heart. It starts with your beliefs. It starts with your focus and your sort of direction and the actions you're taking. The 7 of Pentacles tells you that in July, keep up the faith. You're already seeing a lot of response, and you're already getting more visibility, and the light is shining on you. So be patient. It will eventually manifest on the physical. The good litmus test or cue and indicator for that will be how happy this makes you, how free and how unburdened you feel. It's just a matter of impatience. In August, there's something you've been wanting to get off your chest, and in August it's like you've dreaded saying this, you've dreaded doing this, you've dreaded coming out of your shell, coming out of the closet on something. The 9 of Swords is the anxiety about how will people react, or something isn't right and I want to make the change, I just don't know how to do it. That's the 9 of Swords energy. But when you do make that move, the King of Cups is kind of stepping further into your power in August. But there are doubts and there are insecurities that need to be mastered by you. And August will be the time where you're indicated to level up. There could be somebody coming into your life in August, or there's somebody already in your life by August that really not so much inspires you to take action, but inspires you to be real with yourself on an emotional level. There's somebody you may be inspired by or led by that kind of really relates to you and understands you. There's somebody you really connect with on an emotional level or psychological level, somebody you relate to or shares the same sort of journey as you, that is kind of encouraging you, even if it's in a very subtle way, to come out and say this, get this off your head, get this weight off your shoulders. They kind of care for you and want you to be free of any burdens and any insecurities. In terms of love and relationships, this King of Cups could show up as somebody that you feel like you're not good enough for, or that, you know, you're just not on their level yet. And they're here as a mirror again, the King of Cups, to, I suppose, they wouldn't be on your frequency if you weren't here to meet them. You have 2 kings in the reading and an Emperor card, which is another 4, like the kings are 4 numerically. King of Broads, King of Cups, that's coming through in April and August. These are periods in your life of mastery. These are periods of your life of being at the top of your game, professionally, in terms of your public image and your reputation, but also being on top of your game in your personal life and your family life and everything that you do on a day-to-day basis, your private world. You're on top of that. You're managing it in April. So the year starts to really get very exciting for the last quarter of the year. It's just kind of all systems go. It is achievement, it's attainment, it's the flourishing, and it's the stepping into your power in the last quarter. Even though I see January as a big indicator of you hitting the ground running and being clear about your purpose, your happiness, and clearing a lot of old emotional cycles. Okay, so now we have the month of September with the 3 of Wands and the 7 of Wands. Wands are action orientated, they're fire energy, they're chomping at the bit and they're raring to go. This isn't a time of stagnation, it's a time of doing and achievement and expansion, accomplishment, and getting it all done. The 3 of Wands and the 7 of Wands. Yes, you might have a lot on your plate, but it doesn't feel like it's draining. It feels like it's just really exciting for you and it's motivating. There's a travel indicated in September. There's a trip that, yes, it may be, you know, hard to find the time to do something, but you do end up being able to take time off or explore new horizons that you haven't seen before. And it's about kind of cramming a lot in September. It's kind of a month where you have to experience a lot and an awful lot is happening. The 3 of Wands talks about expanding your horizons and having a very optimistic and bright mindset around what's lying ahead of you for your future. This is also a time of achieving some goals, and this isn't the end of the cycle of achievement yet, but it's when you're getting really positive indicators that this is coming through for you and you start to feel the gratitude, but you have to keep up your hustle. The 7 of Wands, we have the 8 of Wands the month later in October, so I know you keep up that momentum. I know you kind of keep up that hustle, but it is required for you. A sense of competition may come about, a sense of something spurring you on to be the best comes through in September. In October, now, we have the 8 of Wands again. Those 8 of Wands we saw in February. A couple of things. A contract, a invitation that had presented itself in February may be actually attained by you, or you have the confidence to cement this for yourself in October. In February, it's like you have doubts that this is ever going to happen for you. You have doubts that this will turn out, and you're starting to feel worried. You're starting to feel in February like, this is a no for me, and even though things are syncing up all around you, there's something on a spiritual level that's just, you just haven't reached that sense of security that you're looking for yet. Whatever happens between February and October changes that, because we have the Magician this time with the Eight of Wands. We don't have any doubt. We don't have any insecurity. It's pure and authentic. This will be mine. It's written for me. This is my destiny. This is rising to the challenge. This is when those events synchronize for you again. The contract, the agreement, the phone call, the clarity and information comes through again, and this time you're ready to seize it. This is the Carpe Diem energy. This is seizing the day. This is about and again, alignment, and this could indicate more travel, more expansion. If there was a trip or a move that you had hesitancy around in February, by October you're already there, you're on the plane, you're gone. But this is about seizing the day and having full confidence, and there's nothing that would deter you from this. You already know this is for you and nothing will hold you back. The Magician is pure willpower, and it's the belief in yourself that you will create the life you want time and time again. And sometimes we can create self-limiting prophecies, and this is not about that. Perhaps in February we are in a more limited emotional period. And what I will say about this reading is, this is a month-by-month snapshot, and it isn't to say that this is the energy of the entire, let's say, 30 days of the month. That wouldn't make sense. It is about perhaps just a brief moment, or a few days, a week, or maybe it is a longer period of a month on certain months, but it's kind of just a message or some guidance for each month, and something that may feel more significant. But the Magician card is taking it all for yourself and saying to yourself, like, okay, I've created scenarios in my life that haven't been exactly what I wanted, but in October you want this and it wants you. In the month of November, it's just beautiful. Again, the World card, that success, that achievement, that everything you've been wanting. It's with the Queen of Pentacles, thriving energy, fertile energy, growing. It's about that big fat pentacle in your hand, that crown on your head. You are thriving in life. You're thriving in the real world. Money is good. Finances are good. Your sense of home, your sense of belonging, that's the success you've been looking for. Where do you fit in the world, and what is your piece of the world that you're going to just make the most of and have the most success from? In October, the goal that seems like it's just out of your reach, or you're still confused about it in March, although it's like still there and it's still on the precipice. And for some there will be a massive achievement in March, but it's just maybe not exactly how you imagined it, or there's still a little bit of confusion around it. There's none of that confusion in October, and this is the second eclipse season actually. So these eclipses seem like they're really here to align you with your destiny, where you're meant to be in the world, and you really find that soul tribe, that sense of belonging, that sense of fertile soil from which everything else can begin to grow. More than just one thing. You found your place in the world that you will be nurturing and growing from for many moons to come, continuously. This is Capricorn energy. The World card is Saturn. This is Capricorn's ruler, and the Queen of Pentacles is a Capricorn figure. So you may be meeting somebody at this point, or somebody in your life is important to you, that is sustaining with your growth. And this is the goals that you have set out to reach, and you reach them in October and they sustain for a long time. Capricorn is the sign of building, discipline, and endurance. And these are the things and the qualities that come through for you. If you're building a house, buying a property, finding a sense of a corner of the world where you want to lay down some roots, October could be a big indication for that for you. But whatever you plant in October, it's going to last. It's just there for you. It's yours. It's written. Okay, what can I say? This is a big year of destiny and fated opportunities and moments in your life that are just, they're for you and they want to reach you so badly. We end the year in a very positive and uplifting tone. The Star card, the Emperor card. The Emperor card talks about power, authority, the right to be here, your divine birthright to take up space in the world and to live the life that you want to live. This could be when that business of yours is really blooming at this time. This could be when the relationship with your family is really in a great place. If you're a parent, you feel like you are such a wonderful parent and you're just doing the best that you can. The Star card. The Star card is about optimism and faith restored. All is well in your world in December, and you just feel an enormous sense of control, and not in a dominant way or a dictatorial way, a sense of control that everything is manageable, everything is as it should be. That's the real message for December. All is right in your world, and you have so much faith and optimism about what is yet to come for you. The Star card represents enormous healing. There could be a healing coming through around a paternal figure in your life. You could have an enormous sense of healing around the sort of realm of authority in your life, having a healthier relationship, and any fear of power, any fear of control, that just really is an external manifestation of an internal feeling of insecurity. Because when we are secure in ourselves, we know that there is no power over us. We know that we kind of march to the beat of our own drum, and we have the ultimate say in our destiny. The Star card, everything begins to lift, your spirits lift, and you're able to tend to the things that you didn't get to tend to in 2023. Hey, it's only 1 year, you may not get to everything, but at least in December, the kind of clearing that's available for you to go into 2024, oh my God, I don't even want to think about that yet, but you feel like, okay, in 2024, I didn't get to that in 2023, I'm in the best place I've been in a while. This will be my year to do those things. Looking back at the accomplishments of 2023, only fueling your sense of security and confidence in yourself. Have a great year ahead. So excited for you. Subscribe to this channel, of course, if you enjoyed this video. Much love, Sagittarius.